stand as one, walk with thousands.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a very, very, very special episode of Dad Bods and Beards because it is episode
100.6
100!
Oh, jeez.
I forgot I was gonna bring party poppers. Callie, add in the ham horn and some glitter, and some confetti, and some
jazz hands.
Add in all of the things because it is episode 100 today.
You know what she should do?
What should she do? Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
No, the awkward Christmas photos and of us like back to back.
Yeah.
Or her wedding pictures, us riding a unicorn with those.
Sure.
That's all. A background.
Okay. No, we are episode 100. We hit 2-month anniversary.
Can we start over?
No, I think this is prime. This is prime.
Chaos.
No, this is prime Logan and Tyson. Because normally we need to get back into doing more just us episodes because these are like the best ones because we're not having to ask any questions. We're not having to we are ranked number 47 of unscripted podcasts on Apple Podcasts.
True.
And number 1 in beards.
And number 1 in their hearts.
Number 1 in But no, so we recently, by the time this one airs, a couple months back, we'll have hit the 2-year anniversary of Dad Bods and Beards.
That's nuts.
And there was a couple times there where we missed some weeks earlier on.
Well, we wanted to do it, but we didn't want to do it.
Yeah, well, because there was a time when we were just the web show in the basement where there would be we would take a little hiatus but as we've been having conversations lately, especially in the men's mental health space, consistency. Mm-hmm. Consistency has been our friend. It has been your guys' friends. It has been what has helped us have the reach that we have. And I am unbelievably grateful for this journey. I can't believe it's already been 2 years since we were 2 years and some change at this point. And 100 episodes in.
Well, I've been listening to a lot of our previous episodes just specifically because I had ideas on what I wanted to talk about. Uh-huh. But I wanted, let me just check and make sure. And we've grown.
Yeah.
How we talk, how we communicate, how I haven't. You have.
Shut up.
No, but it used to just be me and you, and then we brought on a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge, and I've learned a lot.
Oh yeah.
And so I think I've grown as a person just because it's hard not to when you bring in such caliber good people. Well,
and in this sentimental moment that we're kind of in, this is a great way to highlight Mountain Ops. They've been our primary sponsor for almost a year now.
Yeah.
By the time this episode comes out, which will be a chance to re-up that relationship from a contract situation. But the reason I bring that up is because Trevor, we had him on the show after you met him at Connect and Conquer, and we started the conversations really quickly with him after that of where he wanted to be paired up with Dad Bods. We've done some funny content with them.
Well, when we were at Connect and Conquer, he's the one who everyone was running but me because I could not run.
Yeah.
Physically could not run. And he just walked beside me the whole time.
See,
that's the type of person.
Joke's on you. He didn't want to run, so he just made it look like he was supporting you. Just kidding.
But and then look at us now.
Yeah. Now, look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me. but no, I love the relationship we've had with Mountain Ops over the last year. Mm-hmm. We're going to continue that relationship. We have a bunch of other sponsors that we've worked with. You guys have heard some of the commercials from Trainwell. By this point, and this one comes out, we have been utilizing a 1% Fitness for quite a while. So don't judge us. This is being recorded before we're starting with 1% Fitness, but it's been a freaking wild ride.
It's true.
Just this whole first half of the year into where we're at now.
And the people we've met, the people we've interviewed, the people that we're becoming, the empathy that we have compared to where we were. It's just everything. It's just been
and the
phenomenal.
people that have helped along the way from
the people who believe in us is crazy to me.
Yes, and the people who have spent an ungodly amount of time working on our projects, working on Callie for spending a ridiculous amount of time staring at our faces. For
You're welcome.
Tommy and all the help that he gave us to get out of the basement into a studio, and for Aaron and Sean helping us like just explode the brand and more recognition and more awareness and more just connections. So what we wanted to do today, like I said, you guys know, if you've been listening to the show for a while, you know that we've talked to a bunch of amazing people. So what Tyson and I are going to do today is we are going to recap some of our personal favorite episodes, about 2 each, and then both talk about our pinnacle episode, one that really was a big one for us.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah, there'll be honorable mentions. So you go first. What was, and I don't think it necessarily has to be one is better than the other. I just think that it's ones that we, at least for what's on my list, are ones that I revert back to a lot. And it's not things that I've said, I revert back to something I said. It's like different guests that have had impacts on my life.
Well, I have 5.
Yeah, I've got 2 and then a handful of honorable
One honorable
mentions.
mention is just because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those.
And I don't think anyone else thought it was funny, but I thought it was hilarious.
Can I guess what it is?
Oh, you know.
Flaccid phobia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I literally wrote that one down here.
I'm like, I laughed for like 10 straight minutes.
Yeah, so I don't know which one was that one. That was like either the conspiracy theories episode or...
No, it was what you're afraid, phobias.
Oh, because it was around Halloween. Because as we were learning ourselves, we tried to find a couple other episodes, like episode types. We talked about, one of my honorable mentions is like we had an episode on aliens. So bad. I'm sure people, if they go back and they start from the beginning, they're like, this show sucks. They're like, can we go top down, go from where we're at now and go all the way to the beginning. But yeah,
when you said thalassophobia.
No, you're still not even saying it right. It's
Thalassophobia. And I legit thought you said flaccid phobia. And so this whole time I'm like, why is he afraid of flaccid wieners?
But see, then there's no coming back from that, because I'm trying to like explain what thalassophobia is, which is the fear of like extremely deep water.
And the whole time I'm thinking of like, what happened in high school when he was in football and they had to go in the shower.
Yeah, like the team shower. And just like,
no, too many wieners.
Oh, brother.
I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
It just made I
well,
mean,
another one of my favorite ones, though, like just honorable mentions.
These are honorable mentions.
Is the conspiracy theories one.
Oh, so bad.
I love conspiracy theories. I love the YouTube rabbit holes. I love the thought that, like, as we were running the marathon back when Robert was here, Robert's from Florida. He like literally showed up. It was like he was like a kid at Willy Wonka's factory. He had never seen mountains, let alone like in person. He's obviously seen mountains. But then when I was like, yeah, we're gonna go start up in the canyon and we're gonna run down those mountains. And then as we're running, and we pass through some of those tight canyons, I was like, look up there and tell me that you don't think Bigfoot could be real. And he's like, oh, dude, totally. I'm like, there are places in those mountains, even here in Utah, that people have never stepped foot on because of where they're at, like how like inaccessible, and they're so ridiculously tall. He was just like, he would run up ahead of us and then like take pictures. But my point of bringing all that up is that I love conspiracy theories, even to the point where I'm in the middle of the marathon and I'm going to like, see, Bigfoot could be real. But like, I love it. And you are not
at all.
You are the furthest thing from even like political conspiracy theories to like, I'm more of the like, could aliens be real? Could lizard people be living in the middle of the world? Like, or the earth, like, you know, all that kind of stuff, because it works for me in my ADHD brain.
Bomb.
Oh my gosh. It was like I was trying to drag you through the episode and you were giving me nothing.
Because I had nothing.
I'm like, we talk about the dumbest things all day long and you're sitting here looking at me like I'm like, I remember being like, can we scrap this one? This is so stupid.
It was.
But we pushed through and it was okay. I think every podcast has to have a couple of flops.
It wasn't okay.
But no,
unicorn. There was a unicorn.
Yeah. And then I think some of the other ones, like an honorable mention for me is like on a like a fun or like a reminiscent note is when we first started recording and we recorded the first one in the barbershop. Super bad audio. And it was like in that moment that we're like, oh, this is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about mental health. And that wasn't even the plan.
Mm-mm.
And then...
Because we knew it was important, but we didn't realize.
And then we were in your mommy and daddy's house.
And I moved around. And it sounded like I was fighting.
They were on their leather couches, and it was... But it was like in those episodes that we were like, and we tried the 75 hard, and we kind of like introduced like, hey, follow us on this journey, which we do that a lot now too, but better. So those are fun, kind of like
do things that are like sustainable.
Yes, sustainability.
And then now more on a serious note, this is my last honorable mention is not this.
Oh,
Because there's three that really talked to me, but not this one, because we had Megan Apprentice on. They talked about it. You read it to me. You said don't look at it, don't read it, don't do anything, and then I will read it on the episode. And that's when I realized I still can't tell everyone what's going on. I don't feel comfortable yet. You know what's going on. Only a handful of people do, but that's when I realized, okay, it's not this. And Dad Bods is this. And so it's really changed my life, and it's changed it for the positive. And I think that episode really hit me hard.
well, and that one, it was hitting me when Megan and Prentice were on the show. They told us to look that up. At the time, I think I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, I think it's, it applies to me here, here, and here. But then I reread it again when everything kind of blew up for me at the end of 2024. And it was kind of in that moment that helped me through reading that article of realizing that like, I've got to take care of myself in this situation. I've got to do what's right by me and by my wife and by my children. And
you're growing from it.
And and we're all growing from it. I mean,
just think about the empathy that we have for people who are struggling. Think of just everything and knowing that you can do hard things. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that I've learned going through everything is like, I can do this.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. I can do this. I might not know have a clue how to do this right now, but I know it's going to be okay. And it always is.
Yeah. So one thing that we're going to do, we both have 2 episodes that we want to talk about that was impactful for us. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to show a couple of minutes or like an impactful clip from that episode. So it'd be kind of a little, flash from the past type situation. So I don't know if you want to go first with one of your top 2 or then I can, or whatever.
Whatever you want. It doesn't bother me.
Okay, one of the ones that's probably been the most impactful for me that I think back to a lot, and then I think of how this person has been a part of my life and impacted me greatly since then, and insurmountably more since is Brock's first episode with us. I had no idea when we first met that squirrely little guy that he was going to literally flip our lives on their heads. Mm-hmm. And I met him through John, through Here Brotherhood, and they were like, hey, this is Brock Painter. He runs Neuromastery with his friend Cam, and they are doing this thing called Connect and Conquer. And that's where we met Mountain Ops. That's where we met Sean Finnegan. So not only did like my little video chat with Brock from like way back in June of last year, did I know it was going to turn into this. Mm-hmm. And then you go and do the Connect and Conquer. I'm over there pooping my guts out in Tahoe. Uh-huh. And you meet Brock, you meet Sean, you meet Trevor, you meet all these amazing people, and that springboards us. And then we have Brock on. And the thing that was the most impactful to me was this statement that he said, the best way to heal a sick dog is to put him in a healthy pack. And I feel like we've found our pack over the years. We've found our group of people that has just pushed Dad Bods and Tyson and Logan and Copper Johns as far forward as they possibly can. And so we'll share a clip from Brock's episode, and then I want to get your kind of thoughts on that one too. But that guy, I mean, he pushed us physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually. And I feel like I am just in like a, exponentially better person by just being able to learn from him.
No, everything about Brock and his group and Cam and all those guys. I remember, just like I was saying, I was in a bad spot 2 months ago. Like, I was in a bad spot. Not like I wanted to harm myself by any means. It wasn't that. It was like, do I close Copper Johns down? Do I just give up? Is it worth this? Is it worth all this stress anymore? And that's when Brock and I had several deep conversations, and over a good 3-week time frame. And he just basically just like got me over this hump of like how to have the hard conversations. And You can do this. You know, all this, like, it was amazing. It was like so simplistic, so to the point. And it was all springboarded, like, you know, just because you're in that healthy pack now and you're doing all, and I am in such a better place. And mind you, the stress is still there. Like, the stress is still there, but it's going to be okay. And I really do believe that. And I really do feel it. And it's all because of him teaching me how to understand my emotions better and understand me better and understand that my capabilities. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. So who'd have thought this guy in his late 20s would be able to just like flip our lives upside down?
Dude, I freaking ran a half marathon because of that kid.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
And you did a marathon.
Yeah. So with that said, please enjoy this clip from our episode with Brock. No more half decisions, like full decisions, fully commit. And that full decision meant like not just deciding to go for the run. I know I keep going back to the running, but like running is this massive accomplishment for me in my life right now. Because I always used to tell myself, I'm not a runner. Like, I literally had a sticker on my car at one point that was mocking the like 26.2 or 26 point, whatever it is. It said 0.0, I don't run. Like, I literally had that on my car at one point. Now I'm doing what I'm doing. But like the full decision was like, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever, it's doing all the prep work and giving myself and that thing the love to where like, okay, I want to heal this part of myself, going full decision in of like, what is everything I can possibly do to give this the best fighting chance? So it's like breaking it down, simple math of like, hey, I know I need to start hydrating the day before a big run. I need to make sure that what I'm eating is not something that's going to upset my stomach. I need to make sure that I'm doing a solid like 15-minute pre-stretch, pre-warm up, all the way down to where I'm learning, I'm warming up my joints now, like, so that I'm trying to figure out all the different things that make my brain want to quit while I'm doing this hard thing. And so it's like full decision, like, and it's like, that's creating me into this guy that now identifies as like, I'm a runner. And it's like, and then kind of going back to the other one was like designing. Like, I'm a big creative guy. Tyson, you're a massive creative guy too, with everything you've got going on with Copper Johns. But the whole, like you said, kind of like this, like this divine creator mentality. All right. So, what is your first one on one of your top?
All right. You know one already. I'm going to wait for that one for the very last. So, my next one is going to be Kyle Quilausing.
Yeah.
There was one point in his conversation where I was listening where he was stuck in the prison. He didn't know he was in solitary for 3 years. When he fell down on his knees, that was very impactful for me, when he didn't realize, that when he started a relationship with God. But the one thing that really got me was when the guys came to him and said, you need to go knock that guy out or we'll knock you out. And he continued getting knocked out, and we're going to continue hurting him. We're going to continue doing all this stuff, or you go knock him out.
No,
and
it was knock his teeth out.
Knock his teeth out.
Yeah,
and basically it's just like with his heel, stomp his feet, stomp his head, and it really made me like, what would I do in that moment, and he had to give in, and he did it, and then he went right to his cell and just basically just prayed. And that really hit me hard. Mm-hmm. Because there's times in our lives where we have done things we wish we wouldn't have. And that we can still learn from that and still do good, because he is doing some amazing work. Yeah. And it really hit me hard. Just that moment, it's just like, dude, that just hit hard.
Well, in his episode, we weren't expecting it at the time, but he got going and we were an hour in, and normally our episodes are 45 minutes to an hour. And we were like all sitting there unanimously. We had the studio was full. People came to watch. Yeah. We had Jessica from Stand for Kind. Candace came, but it was in that moment we were like, well, we gotta do a part two, mm-hmm. and that was the first ever part two with a guest that we'd ever done. We did a couple of part twos on our own.
We did a part three.
We should have done a part three with Kyle. But
no, you and I have done a part three.
Oh, we did. I think we did multiple parts. Yeah. But one of the things that was so impactful for me with Kyle's episode was him just talking about the power of a choice, mm-hmm. right? And that you look at the guy that was literally Tiger Woods' like top competition at a young age, and all of the opportunities that he had, and he threw it away because of arrogance, ego that led to a drug addiction, that led to this, the life that ended up putting him in prison for 10 years, to realizing that he had these choices even while he was incarcerated, and the man that he has become since. And he is impacting lives up and down the street. I mean, you remember he was talking about the fact that he gets messages from kids after he goes and speaks to a school, and they're like, Uncle Kyle, I need help here because my mom doesn't understand this. My dad doesn't understand this. My teachers don't understand this. And that is a definition of a man who has a life's mission and a purpose and does not falter from it. So
what I really like is just kind of exactly what you said. Like, he hit rock bottom and he grew from it. And it just shows you that it doesn't matter where you are in life. You can be someone. You can be the person you want to be. You can do everything that you dreamed about. No matter what age, no matter what time, no matter what you've done, you can still get it accomplished and still do it. And I thought that was really cool, just because who he is now is, dude, he's a genuine person.
I love that. So please enjoy this clip from one of our favorite moments of the episode with Kyle.
And all I did in there was peace. I could see my hair growing on my face, bro. Because they never gave me a razor due to the fact of suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah. My skin was losing its complexion because I never feel the sun, bro. And my mind in drift into a dark place I never thought I could imagine, bro. Yeah. And then pacing all day, watching my hair grow on my face, watching my skin lose its complexion. Voices of isolation one day. I woke up and the voices of isolation was hitting me, bro. Loud. And the voices of isolation was yelling, Kyle, you was on 6-time state champ. You was ranked 4th in the world. Look where you stay now. In a 7x7 cell, losing your mind. Ram your head in the wall, Kyle. Ram your head in the wall. That's the voices I heard, bro. Voices of isolation is, And when it seemed like a good idea at the time, when catch me at a bad time, bro. So I'm back up as far as I could in my 7x7 cell, and I was ready for lunge forward and smash my head into this wall. Because this is not how we're supposed to live, bro. Yeah? But no matter how hard I tried to go, something was holding me pinned against my wall, bro. One force that I couldn't budge from, and was holding me back, no matter how hard I tried. And the only direction I could go was down to my knees, bro. It's the only direction I could go was down to my knees. And as a child, nobody took me to church. Nobody told me about God. I was on a golf course my whole life. But now I find myself on my knees. I heard of him. I saw movies about people on their knees praying. So I ain't try. While on my knees, all I said was, God, my name is Kyle. I'm sorry for what I did to all those people, bro. And if you really, really, really out there, bro, help me, man. I need help. I need help. And when I said that word, amen, like I saw in a movie, amen, boom, I felt them. The best feeling that I ever did feel in my life, bro. The most comforting warmth feeling I ever felt overcame my whole body, my spirit, my soul. That's when I got saved. In a 7x7 cell in Halaba Correctional Facility. Yeah, so I rose to my feet, off my knees, a new creation, bro. The voices of isolation was gone.
I think before I get into one of my next top one, and then we get into your top one and then our overall top, there's a few that I've been thinking about. We've been sitting here talking that just like more honorable mentions in the sense of just like the people that we've had on the show. I mean, obviously everybody's been amazing.
Oh, everyone.
But like Robert flew all the way out here from Florida, and we've known that guy for a couple of years now. But just like the emotion that guy showed. And then, we've had, Sean was on the show. Sean's become super impactful. These are just guys that have ran through my mind, and we've had, Tanner Guzzi and a few other like amazing people that have been on the show in these like champions. James Dixon, and then having his son on the show.
What's funny is everyone that you just said is going to be in the book.
Yeah. And so these are all people that are like champions of mental health, not just men's mental health. And that leads me into one of the episodes that has been super impactful in my life. There's a lot of personal meaning to it, but then this person has also become a super close family friend of mine, and our kids are friends. She and my wife are friends. And this was Dani Bates. If you guys have seen this episode before, if not, go back and watch it. But Dani Bates it's funny. We found out we actually had hung out before with a group of friends when we were both in college or college age. I went to college for like 10 minutes, but Dani lost her late husband to suicide. I can't remember exactly. I think it was about 7 years ago at this point. But she came on because I'd run across her on social media. And she is a suicide prevention and awareness advocate. And she is a champion for men's mental health because she has the perspective of what happens to a wife and a mother of children that lose, dad and husband to suicide. And that hit me super hard because I remember being in those places. I remember being in the, I wrote 3 different letters goodbye letters to my wife. I remember being in a situation where I felt like I was a burden. I remember feeling almost there. And then I've done breathwork sessions where I shared this with Dani when we did our first breathwork session with the Here Brotherhood. And I know I've shared this to you, but just to kind of recount it, I'd never done breathwork before. So we did the breath work with the Here Brotherhood, and I'd never done that before, and I didn't realize like the transcendent like experience you could have.
With all the oxygen that gets into you.
Yeah, and I, having had Dani on the episode and talking about her experience and feeling like I got to know her late husband Denny, we had this breathwork session, and when I really got into it, I felt myself fall up. Like into the stars. I don't know any other way to describe it, but mentally I fell up and I'm floating in the stars and I'm starting to scream out to whoever's out there. I mean, that I was raised in the same religion as you are, and I've chosen a different path through my life, and my relationship with, who I believe is out there in the stars is a little bit different, but I had a lot of anger that I pent up towards that, that deity, that entity or whoever. And I started screaming in my head in this breath work of why? Like, why did you let me go through this? Why did you put me through all of this? Why did I have to experience all of this? And who are you? What are you? Where are you? And the responses I started getting back that sounded a lot like my voice in my head was, doesn't matter who I am or what I am or where I am. It matters what I need you to be. And then in that moment, I remember falling back to earth, and I woke up in a car. And I look in the mirror and I recognize myself as Dani. And that's where this ties together. And I just started having these feelings of just like desperation and loneliness. And I started having all these feelings of just pain and guilt and suffering. And it was in this moment where I realizing that I'm Dani right before he was gone. And I'm experiencing this as my mind played this thing out. And right before the moment where I felt like it was all going to be over and I was going to pass, I was taken to another vision. It was a memory of the doctor handing me my daughter, my oldest, and then immediately taken to the doctor handing me my son, who almost didn't make it through childbirth. And then immediately taken to a vision of me standing over my wife right after our daughter was born and just kissing her on the forehead and being like, we're parents. And so I feel so drawn and attached to Dani, even though I've never met him, and become such close friends with Dani and her family, with her daughter and her boyfriend Adam and their kids and everything. This beautiful family that they've built, and they've become such good friends of Chelsea and our kids, and we've done a bunch of stuff together. And I feel like I know Dani, even though I've never met him, because I remember what those feelings felt like, and those feelings of of the loneliness and the desperation, all that stuff sitting in the car. It was like, they were like memories to me, memories of feelings. Like I know I was experiencing what I interpreted Dani's last moments are, but I remembered the feelings. And where that all ties in with the breath work was that the answer I got was, you know, I had to be broken so that I could be built into the person that needed to be, you know, to wave this flag with you of mental health and awareness and like it's okay and vulnerability and redefining masculinity. So Dani's episode holds such a special place in my heart because it sparked so much like awareness and change in me of even like finding my own purpose. So that one's a really heavy episode for me.
Yeah. I don't want to follow that. I'm not going to lie. Like, that was really well said. I got to see her again for Promise to Live event, the gala, and it was amazing to see her and her boyfriend, and I loved that. He was so good to her. And I just remembered one thing is like, be selfish and tell them that, you know, if someone's really thinking like that, be selfish. And I have had to be selfish with certain people. And that really resonated with me because sometimes they don't realize when you're going through that despair and that hardship that there's people who love you might not feel it. So be selfish and let them know that, hey, you're not going. I need you.
Yeah.
And I've had to say that a couple of times because I there's no way that you're going to do that to me because I'm being selfish. It's not okay.
Well, and it's nice to hear from Dani's perspective in that episode. She says like,
be selfish.
I would take Dani and every single one of his burdens 10 times over than to have him gone and the hole that can't be replaced. And to have that perspective from a widow and a mother is something I think every single man needs to hear. And so, or anybody that has a partner in their life that
But like you said, when you were Dani, like you don't feel anything but the pain.
Yeah, it's blinding.
And I mean, that's why people are cutting themselves and stuff like that because they have to feel something other than the pain because it's that much.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard to, like, it's just, when you hear that they're hurting themselves because they're hurting so bad that they have to feel other pain, that just kills me.
Yeah.
And so to hear like you need to be selfish and be there and make them see and make them feel, that's hard.
Yeah.
So that episode was really hard for me.
Yeah, and
But
I think
good too.
It's one of those necessary ones that it's necessarily hard and it's
Because
important.
all of us have someone in our lives where that's happened.
So please take a moment, watch this clip from our episode with Dani Bates. The last thing that I want to ask, and I think this will probably be one of the most impactful things, is from your position, and I like that you said only parent, not a single parent. I picked up that you said only is very different. Being a wife that lost your husband, lost your best friend, and being a mother who saw your daughters lose their father. Speaking primarily to dads and husbands right now, what would be something that you could say to anybody who might be in a similar position or might be down the road as Dani?
I said before, like, I have a friend who's struggling with it right now and who I've been like sending Marco Polos to. And so, it's like a hard question to answer because everyone is so different and what they need to hear and what they need to do is so different. But, like what just comes up when I'm in this situation, when someone asks me what to say, or when I do have to like tell one of my friends, like this person that I've been talking to is a dad of 2 kids. And, just that I think understanding that like the damage that will be done is irreparable, like no matter how much we do. And like I was saying, like I feel joy and most of my days are like happy days now. And it's taken a lot of work to get there, but like there's still so much damage that will just last the rest of my life. And I wish that I could just like shake the men and just be like, you have no idea, like the lasting impact that this will have. And that like he never would have wanted me to like go through the things that I've had to go through the last 5 years, you know? But especially the girls, he would have never wanted that. And I wish I could just like every time a man is struggling with that, just like shake him and be like, you idiot. Like Like, you have no idea the impact this will leave on your wife, on your kids, but like the ripple effect of like, this will affect my kids' kids. Like, this will be something that impacts like for generations.
All right. So your other top before we get to our very obviously top overall episode together.
Yeah.
Would be what?
Give me 1 second. I gotta find it. I know what it is. It's your podcast. What was it? Episode 8, 9?
Oh geez, you're going back in the archives.
Yeah, where we didn't film it. Well, I think we filmed it, but we didn't film it.
You're talking about
Where you talked about your story.
you don't even know the title.
No, it's called Logan's Story, isn't it?
Let's go. Let's look back on the old.
I swear it's episode 8 or 9. I was just
Logan's Journey. It's
Logan's
episode 15.
No, it's Logan's Story.
What? I mean, I don't.
Logan's Journey. I was just
Oh, it's almost like I read it right off of old Spotify.
yeah, right here.
Yeah, episode 15. That might be audio only.
It is, even though I think we record on StreamYard, but for some reason we didn't have a way because we were only doing on Apple, which means you couldn't put the video on.
Yeah.
And then we didn't have YouTube at the time, so we didn't save the video. We just used the audio only. But we recorded it with the video. Wonder if we can pull that up. That'd be kind of cool.
If not, we'll just show a bunch of pretty pictures of us with the audio. Yeah.
That was the time when I didn't know everything.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, that's weird. That's weird to think about. That like
Yeah.
there was a time where you didn't know everything because it doesn't feel like that's ever been real.
well, and selfishly, I knew we were going to be big after that.
Because we went to McDonald's after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we weren't even. You were in your house. I was at mine, miles and miles
Yeah, I
away. You shared stuff that I was like, was really deep. Like, it got to me where you were talking about, you didn't even want to be here. And you, when your mom wouldn't even let you in the car because she was afraid, and you didn't want to listen to anyone. And it just hit me. It's just like, how could my friend ever feel like that? How could my friend ever feel like he's not loved or that he's not? See, I'm getting all emotional because it was that much. It's like, how can someone be hurting that much and not know how valuable and how loved they are? And knowing your wife and knowing your kids, like, how scared they must have been for you. And it's just, I put myself in that. When you were talking, it's just like, that sucks that you feel that way and that your brain plays tricks on you. It's not fair. And it really hit me. It hit me to the point where I'm just like, hey, this is not okay. It's not okay that people feel this way. And like, we need to do something. It was like the turning point of everything. I'm like, we have to do something. And that's when I knew. I was like, we're going to be big because we want to help. We genuinely want to be there to help people. And I just, everything you said just resonated and just, it hurt. I hurt for you. And when you literally see the worst in you as a personage, a hallucination, but it looked like a real person or demon, as you say, that's scary. And I can't imagine that. Like, it's just like, dude, the whole episode is just like, I don't think I talked. I think it was just letting you just be you.
Well,
And
I don't think that there was.
But that was one of the most important episodes that we've had to me.
Well, I don't think I'd ever like retold the story, so I didn't have like, and this sounds. I don't mean to make this sound bad, but like I didn't have it like polished. I didn't have it put together. I didn't have it like. I think I was literally just speaking. I was just like recounting events.
Well, at that point, you never said anything because I think you just told everyone just recently before that episode on Instagram as a story.
Yeah. So I had shared that.
Because no one knew you had bipolar at that time.
Well, it was like 3 years ago that I was like on TikTok that I had said around my birthday that, hey, I'm bipolar, kind of let that be more of a thing. And then that was kind of like, so my like mental health advocacy kind of started right around the time that I met you on social media. And then I really haven't ever, other than like psychiatrists and therapists and things like that, I never had any moments where I like sat down and gave someone like the full story. And that's kind of what we ended up doing with that episode. And I've got a lot of beautiful messages because of that episode. And I periodically do too, but I've told that story, I think, so many times now that I'm surprised at how much it still emotionally gets to me. Not because I'm not resolved from some of those things, not because I'm not healed from some of those things, but just like, it's like I said, it's the memory of a feeling, the memory of an emotion. And I didn't realize, and this is the crazy thing, is you don't realize when you are in, you don't realize when you're in your origin story. You don't see it that way.
Yeah.
You just look at it as like, especially as a man, sometimes you look at it as this like, why me? Like, why is this happening? Like, what did I do? And then obviously, like, you know, with my hallucinations being more demonic and with, you know, some of my religious upbringing and stuff, I viewed it more as a punishment from God than it was an actual chemical imbalance in my brain. And then once I started getting help and things like that, realizing that this is going to take a lot of work. This is going to take a lot of work, and it has taken years. And there's still times where I'm not great, but I look at the guy that I am now and I look at the guy I was almost 8 years ago, and I'm just like, man, that guy was really going through it. But
You can't hide it anymore.
no, and I don't.
But I'm grateful for that because I know when you're off.
Well, this is the thing too. Is
I call you out on it.
yeah, and it's like
You can't hide it.
I don't feel like that is just my story anymore. I feel like, kind of going back to, we talked about with Dani's episode and the breath work I talked about, is I feel like I have this calling of like, I was put through this, and then I was obviously given the gift of gab, the ability to talk and tell stories. And I love being a storyteller. And I used to tell stories. I used to tell lies, and I used to stretch the truth to make sure everybody knew that it was okay. Now I'm like, oh, this is why I have the ability to tell a story. And so I can reach somebody, I can talk to somebody, I can hit them in the heart and being like, I know how
And then
it
I'll just throw
feels.
some inappropriate joke in the middle.
But
of
that's
it.
no, shut up. You have that ability too. And so that's what I'm saying is I appreciate you saying that, because that is like, it's my origin story. It's a major part of the Dad Bods and Beards origin story, and you have yours as well. And so it's like that was one of the first times.
And one day when I have permission, I'll say it.
And it's going to be probably right up there on the top as well. And that was, I'm glad you brought that one up, and I'm very touched.
Dude,
because
it made me respect you, love you. It's just like,
well, and that's reciprocated because I've had very few situations outside of like a medical professional, or my wife, or my childhood best friend, where I could sit down and tell that whole story and not have someone be like, whoa, you did what? And obviously, you know, even further than that story now. And there are some details that I will never share that are not just mine to share. But no, I almost.
yeah. And now everyone who's listened, the thousands upon thousands, if not millions now, know that story.
Well, and we're going to have we have the opportunity coming up where we're going to be on some stages, and that story is going to come up, and it's going.
But you should be proud of it.
It's
You
going
should
into
be proud of
books
who you
and-
are. Like
100%.
no, and you are, but I mean, it's just like your story can help so many. You know how many marriages are ruined because of that? I know a few in just my family alone.
Well, mine almost was over.
and that just speaks volumes to your wife.
Oh, I can't.
Like,
You want to get me crying, dude? Don't do that.
No, but most spouses can't handle it, and it just shows you how amazing Chelsea is.
Yeah, that'll be a whole nother.
It was
episode.
so much fun to see her and your kids. I was filming. I was there the whole time.
Yeah, at the marathon.
Just how her reaction to you, just how cool that was.
Yeah.
So
Well,
let's get you to cry.
we'll find a segment from that episode that we can share. You know, I didn't know what was going on. Like, I was like, why is my brain so broken? I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do hard drugs. Like, I don't do anything to like hurt my brain. Why is it broken?
To warrant
And
what
then-
you're feeling.
Yeah. And so then that would lead me to like, I am destroying my wife's life, and she does not deserve this. I have a beautiful little girl and a son on the way. I have life insurance. They'll be better off without me. I could just disappear. I could take off. Dude, I had letters, and I only recently in the last year or so destroyed them. Like, I kept them,
Oh,
and
wow.
I would reread them to myself, like my final letters to my wife.
Dang. Just recently.
Yeah, within the last year. And that's the kind of stuff that still gets to me is like reading younger Logan's words and thinking that life wasn't worth living. And like thinking that there was a moment in my life where leaving my children without their father was like the best idea I had at the time to better their life. That I felt that I was such a detriment in the lives of my wife and my children and other people that I had been a burden on that had helped me, that it was best if I just didn't exist anymore. And I can promise you, and anybody that has ever felt that, that's never the answer, because the hole you will leave in the lives of the people that need you and care for you is far greater pain than what you're feeling. So, top one.
I'm all like,
Yeah, now that we've talked about all the emotional ones, we're gonna wrap it up here with the top one. And this one isn't necessarily, it's top one for a number, because one, of notoriety, two, because of just like, I think it was a pinnacle of like, whoa, we're going somewhere.
and it was almost like, man, I showed
I was
yeah.
gonna let you say that part.
Okay. It was like manifestation, because 2 years before that, I messaged him and said, hey, I want to, like da with you, no response. And so it's been like something I've like, out of all celebrities, it was him.
So who are we talking about?
Zachary Levi.
And this is the thing
Chuck,
is
Shazam.
yeah. And when we had him on the show, there was some politically charged stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I even had a couple people being like, oh, this just happened with him on social media. I don't know if this is a great idea, and yada, yada, yada. But then this is the crazy thing how it happened is we meet a friend of his, Eric Artell, at an X room through Sean.
And I love Eric.
And he goes, hey, we're working with Zachary Levi, Nerd HQ, yada, yada, yada. You guys have heard this story 100 times over with how we know Eric. And then we get a phone call a week later. Hey, Zach says he'd love to do your show, but it's going to have to be on Black Friday in LA. And we're in Utah.
Yeah.
And we're sitting at this BYU students whatever event for Copper Johns. And
That's right. That was way cool.
and we start making phone calls. How are we going to get out there? How are we going to get out there? And that was when Aaron was like, I got you. And now we're here. And that was a pinnacle origin story of how Dad Bods became.
And I'm wearing those shoes.
Yeah, and how Dad Bods became part of Illuminex and the management team that we have here, and how Sean and Aaron became partners in the show. So that's a pinnacle episode, not because of the notoriety. We got to sit down with a celebrity, and you also got to you did manifest that literally.
Well, and they always say, don't ever meet your heroes. People say that.
Yeah.
Or that's the saying. I don't know if I've ever known anyone who actually says that. But I got to meet him, and he was better in person than I expected.
Well, we both read his book, Radical Love. He said a lot of amazing things. And since then...
He laughed at my jokes.
And since then, we've done a few things with him and
I
with
did
Nerd HQ.
so much cringy stuff once.
Yeah.
Oh, so cringy. As soon as I said it, it came out of my mouth. I'm like, what the freak? Yeah. So I'm sitting here in a sauna with Candace, and he voice messaged me.
Because I was going to say, we talk back and forth now.
Oh, yeah. So he voice messaged me and push and play, and people are looking up like, why are you listening to this right now? I'm like, it's Zachary Levi.
You just name dropped in a sauna.
And we talk. And as soon as I said that, I'm like, what the freak? Candace was like, what did you, why?
So obviously Zach is a huge mental health proponent. He has Nerd HQ, which is a nonprofit that provides...
Which we're huge proponents of.
Provides therapy for free for those who can't afford it for themselves. So please enjoy one of our favorite clips from the Zachary Levi episode.
And so I've always wanted to use my platform to try and do as much good in this world as I can, particularly if you are able to, blessed enough to survive walking through particular fires, then I think that you have a calling then on your life to bring back buckets of water for those who are still in the flames. Dude. And so I think that when it came to mental health, because that was my biggest, continues to be the thing that is the most defining struggle in my life, I guess you could say. It's not like, I'm going to go do a good thing. It's like, no, I have to.
Yeah, you feel like it's
there is no option in that as far as I'm concerned, because I don't know how I would be able to go and live the rest of my life and have a clear conscience and be happy going somewhere, knowing that like, oh man, I did and I got through that. Well, hope everybody else figures it out. We need more people that care.
Well, it's like you talk about in the book. It's almost like the Robin Williams effect, where somebody can be fighting something so dark, and that's why they like to spread so much joy if they have that ability, they have that talent, because they know what it feels like to be in just this total utter despair. Okay, dude, we're right about that time. We're gonna wrap up. This will probably be one of the longest episodes we've had in a while, just because it's like, how do you recap 100 episodes and some of your best experiences over 2 years in an hour? We told Callie, we started filming, it's gonna be like 30, 40 minutes. Yeah, there's no way. It probably could have been a 2-part episode, but, and I'm the one that said it's gonna be 30 minutes.
I know, I told you.
Nobody believes. I don't even believe myself. So, I'd say one of the things that I want to say to wrap up is that this is super cliche. 2 things. I'm unbelievably grateful for the voice that we've been given by the people who want to listen to what we have to say, because we are just 2 everyday average guys that battle with all the same stuff everyone else does. Self-worth, self-loathing, if we love ourselves, if we're good enough father, good enough friend, good enough anything, but we've been given an opportunity to have a platform, and a lot of people who have jumped behind us and helped push us up this hill.
It's astronomical how many people have helped us.
And I feel like we're just getting started too. Like, we're going to look back and we're doing, episode 200 recap, 300, 400. And this will be one of the last things I'm going to say, and then I'm going to let you end it.
Whoa, what was that?
I'm going to say this very, very clearly to you and to others. There is no Dad Bods and Beards without you. I could not do this without you. I couldn't. I absolutely couldn't. There's not anybody else that I could sit across from a table or sit next to at a table day after day after day and just pour our souls in meeting all these different people and pushing this brand and getting to choose a brother is something I don't take lightly. You have picked me up off the floor in some of the hardest things I've ever been through since what I thought were the hardest things I've ever been through. And so above all else, when it comes to this brand that we have built and this show that we have built, I am unbelievably grateful for you and for the voice that you've allowed me to find.
I love you, man. No, this has been...
I love you, bro.
I love you, bro. No, it's something that I was very unexpected. I remember you calling me while I was working in the lab the very first time, and Candace like, who's calling you? I'm like, I don't know, some guy who's
Some dude from TikTok?
Yeah, some TikTok. He wants to talk about the product and stuff like that. And we talked for like ever. And I got off the phone with Candace. I'm like, yeah, he's a really good dude. Like, I really like him. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're talking a little bit. Then I meet you for the first time at Snowbird, which coincidentally we're going on Friday. But then next thing you know, we're just talking, and I saw you be someone's.
Yeah, don't even. That's another episode.
No, but dude, it's been. Yeah, I just love you. This has been just an amazing. I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else. I don't think I could do this with anyone else.
I'm just like, no, you couldn't.
No, I couldn't, and I wouldn't want to. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that it just. Yeah, it's weird when I don't talk to you on a day. Candace like, have you talked to Logan today? I'm like, no. And she's like, it's like 7 o'clock at night. I'm like,
is he alive?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. This is weird. And then, but we always do. And it makes my day every time, even if it's over the dumbest things.
Yeah.
But I love you. Appreciate you.
I love you too, man. It goes without saying, we love all of you guys, all of you ladies. Except for you. We love you. But no, we are just getting started again. Like I would just all of these awesome points of just getting to restart, re-up, redo, get bigger, get better, and having this voice. And so we just love you guys. We love the support.
We're grateful.
Full of gratitude. So until next week with episode 101.
Crazy.
We'll see you then.
Toodles.
Dad Bods Unite!
Dad Bods Unite!